So the leather club 2 blocks down is closed for the night and you're hungry for some masochistic action. Resident Evil 2 on hardcore sounds like a good idea to me. Okay, so what should you really expect on hardcore difficulty? Basically, everything is going to do more damage to you. A single zombie bite will land you into danger straight away. Enemies seem to take a little more damage too. And if you want to save your progress, then you'll need to use the limited amount of increments. Are you scared off yet? Well, don't be, because as long as you keep a few things in mind, then hardcore is way easier than its title suggests. Tip number 1, increments aren't hardcore. So probably the most distinctive feature of hardcore is the fact that you have to use increments to save, as well as there being no auto-saving. Relax, increments won't really affect you that much. You will encounter something like 30 increments to the game, and that should be plenty enough to get you through. Don't try to force yourself by not saving over extended periods. You'll just frustrate yourself for no reason. Tip number 2, health is greater than ammo. You will almost never ever have ammo issues, ever. You may even have enough ammo to kill every enemy in the game. Doesn't mean you should, but I'm just trying to make a point. What you do need to be careful of is your healing items. Being too reckless will really catch up to you, to the point where you may in fact run out. Now you seem like a clever sort of person, so I don't think that will happen. But when it comes down to trading a few more bullets or taking a hit, let those bullets fly every time. Remember to always mix blue herbs into your red and green herb mixtures. The extra defense boost you get from the added blue herbs really helps extend how much healing you end up needing. Tip number 3, try not to use support weapons as defensive items. This here is probably the most important piece of advice in this video. Support items are much less useful when you use them as defensive items, since their effects are significantly reduced. Flashes are very useful for escaping places without expending ammo, or using them on bosses to stun them. Frags can net you 3 to 4 kills per use, or allow for some easy kills on some tougher enemies. Using either of these as defensive items is wasting a lot of their effectiveness, since it will only affect one target. The knife has never been more relevant in a Resident Evil game ever. Using it to stab down enemies is fast, reliable, and will save you heaps of ammo. It's much better to use it this way, since it degrades significantly slower than if you used it as a defensive item. Keeping this stuff in mind will dramatically affect your playthrough, believe me. If you're in a situation where you get grabbed, not using a support item defensively may in fact be the better call, but that's a call you need to make based on how many healing and support items you have. Tip number 4, the 9mm meme is real. Someone at Capcom has a very negative opinion of 9mm. True to the meme, they have no stopping power. Your 9mm pistols are just pretty average at taking on enemies. It takes many shots to definitively kill zombies, which gives you more chance to miss shots and more time for them to close the distance. My advice is to only use it in very safe circumstances, and to prioritize gunpowders for the other guns rather than the 9mm pistols. Don't be afraid to use your stronger guns on zombies if it means taking them out easier. Tip number 5, your civil engineering degree isn't useless after all. Now you should really avoid as many enemies as you can, and it shouldn't be that difficult for you to do that, but it would be hard to avoid every enemy. Clearing a path or two that helps get you to the most locations possible will really make your life a lot easier. You don't have to kill everything in the room, just the enemies that will reoccurringly be in your way. It's a good idea to make sure your path has barricades on the windows, especially near save rooms you think you're going to frequent. If a path has a licker, then that's even better. They're easy to sneak around, and even when they're alerted, they're less trouble than zombies. A zombie in a tight section is really hard to avoid because it doesn't really budge from its position, but lickers with their speed and their leaping attacks present a lot more opportunities for dodging, so don't be intimidated by them. And that's it. I know these seem like just little things to keep in mind, but you'll find that these tips will really beneficially add up over time, and your hardcore experience will end up way easier than you would have imagined.